Sure, I appreciate that. We'll take one more call here and hold the lines because we'll come back take more. Bob is the first-time caller in San Diego. Bob, welcome to KFI. You've been holding for a long time.
Yeah, how you doing?
Very good. Thanks for calling.
I'm a writer, I guess.
Yes.
That's the main thing that I like to do.
All
And
right.
you know, the thing that I got on hold about was that I was kidnapped by Motley Crüe, and that's what happened to me when I went to Hollywood. I grew up in the Show Me state in Missouri, and then I came to San Francisco, first of all, and up there they told me I sounded too much like Bob Dylan. And so I kind of went back to the drawing board and tried to learn how to sound like myself. And then I ended up in L.A. I moved to L.A. in about September of '83. A month later, I was walking down Sunset Boulevard, coming from the Rainbow Inn. You probably know where that is, right?
Yep.
And I ran into these four guys standing outside, and they said, outside this 24-hour restaurant, they said, yeah, Michael Jackson's inside, man, and he's tripping on us because we're Motley Crüe, and I'm 33 years old, so I was thinking Mott the Hoople or somebody. I didn't know
You didn't know who Motley Crüe was, yeah.
Yeah. So, and this was October 25th of '83, which is, if you look on their first big album, their world tour that made them famous goes from November '83. It says on the back of it, recorded from November '83.
So this was just before they became big stars.
Yeah, so they were real hot, real live, and they wanted to do something wild. So they took this guy off the street, and they took me out to Lake Elsinore, and they rolled me, man, for it. And I was like living on Argyle Avenue.
Okay, now, are you saying that you, I want to back up, you say you were actually kidnapped by Motley Crüe?
Well, that's what my attorney said. Legally, technically, it was kidnapping, because what it was Vince Neil was driving, and they drove me back from Sunset Boulevard to my apartment on Argyle, and I told them, well, you know, all day I've been, I got my $150 out of unemployment for an emergency to go get my car that's stuck out at Lake Elsinore, and all day I've been trying to get a ride, and I couldn't get one. So they go, well, we're meeting these girls at Pomona High School at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and right by now it was like about 3:30 in the morning. They go, I'll take you out there. So I said, all right. You know, we took over to the 7-Eleven, and I bought them a couple of six-packs of Pepsi because I didn't think any of them were 21. I found out later, you know, one of them was a lot older than that. But, you know, a carton of cigarettes, you know, filled the gas tank, and still had enough money to get my car out of this lien that the gas station was putting on up in Lake Elsinore. So we got on a freeway, and we're heading out there, and Vince goes, I got to get this thing out of the trunk, you know. So he pulls off on the freeway, and he gets this big knife out of the trunk and gets back in the car. And they start, you know, they're playing all their tapes, and they were even on the radio at the same time. You know, they put the tape out, and the radio came on. They go, wow, that's us right now. And I still didn't know who they were, but they were doing all this air guitaring and stuff, and I'm a songwriter as well as a writer, and I know what it looks like to, you know, be a good air guitar player, and this, you know, this is pretty good for spontaneity, so I figured, well, they must be whoever they're talking about, you know.
Wow.
And,
It's
yeah,
hard.
that's what I was going. But they're going, we're evil, and I'm going, well, I trust you guys, you know. And so they go, well, you know, let's cruise out to the lake here, you know, before we drop you off. And so I thought, well, okay, you know, you're driving. And so we pulled out to Lake Elsinore. It was like about 6 a.m., 5 a.m., something like that. In February, you know, it's pretty, in October, so it's pretty dark. And so the next thing I knew, like, they'd all kind of dispersed, and I was with one of them, and then we started walking back to the car, and they all started coming together from different directions. And next thing I knew, it was like the drummer is holding up this tree branch, and I'm getting surrounded. And Vince goes, well, I hate to tell you this, dude, but you just walked into a trap. We don't want to hurt you, but we will.
Why? Because they wanted your money?
No, that's what I said. I said, well, you guys are Motley Crüe, you know, what do you need money for, you know? He goes, no, we're just doing this for kicks.
It's hard for me to believe that, Bob. It really is.
No, it's hard for a lot of people to believe it, you know. I didn't know who they were, and you know, they were just driving this car, you know.
Wow.
And but I called up Billboard magazine, and I said, who handles Motley Crüe?
And so you said that you determined it really was. I got to take a break, Bob. That's one hell of a story, I'll tell you. It's hard for me to believe it, but if you say so, that what a story. Bob, thanks for the call.
Hey, thank you.
I appreciate that. We'll come back, take more of your calls tonight. Thank you. It's we're running late. It's 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. This is KFI. Let's go to the traffic center.